how customer relationship management can help you increase sales. So we have talked about to become successful in sales, we must understand sales is a numbers game. The more prospects you reach, the more you will close. Sales is a numbers game where you fail 98% of the time and you succeed 2% of the time on average. Higher if you are a good salesperson, maybe up to 5%, and less if you are not as good and you're still learning the sales techniques and the closing techniques and so on. So we know that we have to do numbers in order to get results. So the other thing that we must do is to follow up the prospects. Let's say you call 100 prospects in a day and only 3 of them are potential. And you have to follow up on them, right? Because no prospect is going to buy from you the first time you talk to them. Usually it's going to take multiple conversations, multiple meetings, multiple phone calls, multiple meetings in their office, in your office, in order to close the deal. So you need a system to help you remember who you talked to, what they said, which ones are potential, when do you have to follow up, and actually give you alerts so that you follow up on the right time. This is where a customer relationship management system can help you increase your results, because no human mind can fucking remember 100 prospects every day. Which one is potential, which one is not, what the customer said. And I know you have a memory of a goldfish, all right? So there's no fucking way that you're gonna remember everything what the prospect said. And if you're doing numbers, totally impossible. If you only talk to 5 people a day, maybe, but then you will fail in sales. So you need a system to track that for you. And that system is called CRM, Customer Relationship Management System. With a CRM, you contact the customer, you record everything that happens with the customer. Every conversation you have with the customer, you would put that information into the system. The customer said they're interested in the standard package. They only want to buy 6 months, and they may be expanding their business in the next 12 months, so they may be interested in the premium package. So this is the kind of information that you record in the CRM. Or, you can also record information like the customer has a wife, 2 kids, they spend half of the year in the United States. So this is information, valuable information that you keep in the CRM system because you have the memory of a fucking goldfish. You can't possibly remember all those details. So you put that into the system, and whenever you call them, you're like, how are the kids? Did you just come back from the US? They feel, the prospects, the customers feel that you care about them, that you remember everything that they told you. And that is really amazing, and they really appreciate that you remember every detail of the conversation that you guys had, and that gives you bonus points. That's how you build relationships. Now, I want to switch role here, right? So we understand why salespeople need CRM. It's good for salespeople, but I know in Vietnam, most salespeople don't want to do that because I don't know what the reason is. I'm not going to say it, but I think you know. Let's switch role here. Let's talk about the sales leader. You're a sales manager and you manage 15 salespeople. You have 15 salespeople in your team. They're all calling 100 calls a day. So that is 1,500 calls. How the fuck are you going to track that many calls in your team? How do you know which salesperson is performing? How do you know which salesperson actually hit their daily call KPI? How do you know which salesperson is calling with quality, right? Are they really calling the customer and trying to convince them? Or are they just faking it? Like maybe they just dial 50 calls or 100 calls, whatever the KPI is, and pretend that they made those calls, right? How do you control that? So again, you need a customer relationship management system to help you manage salespeople. In our system, in our company, our CRM allows salespeople to track all the call details. Every conversation they had with the customer, they can record that information. Not only that, it also records all the voice conversations. So everything that was said with the prospect or the customer, it's in the system. We can actually go into the system and play it back. And this is how the sales manager or the sales leader can control quality of the sales calls, right? And if you have a really big team, let's say 100 salespeople, then that's when you start thinking about building a quality control team. So you would build a quality control team to listen in on the sales calls with prospects and customers. You want to make sure your salespeople are saying the right things. You want to make sure your salespeople are following script. You want to make sure your salespeople are not, giving your prospects or customers false promises. Quality control team that spot checks or, just go through all the voice calls. Make sure that they're done to quality. So by doing that, you will encourage your salespeople to perform at their highest level, make sure there's no cheating going on in the sales team, and the sales manager will be able to identify which salespeople are potential, which are not, and be able to build a better team. This is why customer relationship management software is so necessary in a sales team. Take this information, implement it, take fucking action, and don't be a fucktard.